Hi guys, it's Ben here from T-Rex Space Station. How's everyone doing? This is going to be a video response to this month's Friday foursome. I'm sorry that I've not done one of these for a while. I did quite a few when it first started, and then I sort of got waylaid and got out of the rhythm of things. But this one was something of a festive sort of themed one, and it was, what are your 4 best childhood gifts? Now, on YouTube, I'm starting to feel like a bit of a broken record. It's becoming apparent to me, anyway, that I'm repeating the same sort of small number of stories over and over again and seem to talk about the same things quite a lot. So, yes, I could just tell you all about the time when I got a Mega Drive for Christmas for like the 18th time. But I've actually tried to think of some more interesting answers to this question. Maybe gifts that aren't necessarily video games, or gifts that were more personal to me that you won't have heard about before. And it's kind of fun for me to talk about some of these things from my past anyway, so I hope you enjoy. The first one is a video game, and it's Speed Freaks for the PlayStation 1, which came in a multi-pack sort of box set special edition. And this was a gift from my dad that he bought me when I was a kid, when he came back from Israel. He'd been for a holiday there and had been away for quite a few weeks. And I really missed him, actually. I remember it seeming like such a long time that he was away. But one of the cool things was that I knew he was going to bring me a present when he came back, which is kind of the exciting thing about when he came back from his trips. And I really liked Speed Freaks. It's kind of like a Mario Kart clone for the PlayStation 1. But to me, it was actually better than Mario Kart in a lot of ways. It's got some very clever environments, some very good tracks on it. And I really enjoyed working through the game and unlocking new things, and it's got a lot of replayability there. And of course, as you'd expect from a kart type racer, lots of different quirky little characters. You kind of play as a bunch of school kids who hang out in a treehouse and race each other. But the big thing about it was that it came with the multi-tap. The multi-tap really unlocked a lot of multiplayer stuff for me, and it became a bit of a regular thing that me and my friends would do. We'd meet up and use the multi-tap and play Quake 4 or Bomberman or Speed Freaks. And I used to have so much fun playing 4-player PlayStation 1. Some of my best video game memories are associated with 4-player PlayStation 1 games. And so that was a really nice gift that reminds me of the fun of childhood and of my dad coming back from a trip and all of those fun evenings playing multiplayer. The second gift I'm going to go for then is a book, and it's The Colour of Magic, the first Terry Pratchett book. This was a gift that my parents bought me when I was a kid because we were about to go away on holiday. I think we went for a summer holiday in Cornwall then, and knowing that it would be a long car drive, my parents told me that I could buy any book that I chose from Asda. And I remember seeing the front cover and thinking, oh, this looks interesting, and I bought it purely because of the front cover looking kind of fantastical and magical and had a wizard on it, and it looked like the kind of thing that a kid would like. This is back when I was in primary school, and they're not exactly children's books, they're Discworld stories. There were some children's ones, Diggers and Druckers, etc., but this is actually quite a challenging book for a young kid to get into. Nevertheless, this book was really important to me. Interestingly, I started with the very first one. Of all the books I could have picked, I picked the first one because it opened up to me a world of fantasy and of literature, and it was really what started my obsession with reading. And I basically went through all of the Terry Pratchett books through my years in primary school and secondary school. I wouldn't say that I was a fan of reading, but I was a fan of Terry Pratchett. That was really where all my interest came, and a lot of my ability with writing and having interesting ideas and creative thinking came from those books. And I think a lot of my sense of humour and personality was actually formed by reading Terry Pratchett. So that was really a seminal present. And I went on pretty much straight after that book to get the Light Fantastic, the sequel. And it just started off an obsession. That's an obsession that's really been lifelong for me. And it all started with my parents buying me a present before I went away. The next one I'm going to go for is a very personal one to me. I'm not sure if you guys have this, but I know that a lot of people have a sort of thing that they have in childhood that stays with them throughout their life, and usually it's a teddy or something like that. For me, it's a pet dog teddy bear called Scallywag. I don't know why I've called him Scallywag, but that's just what I called him. And he has a kind of gormless look on his face, but I had him pretty much from as early as I can remember, since I was a very, very young child, maybe even a toddler. And he's kind of been with me throughout most of my adult life. He's gone everywhere that I've gone. When I move to a new place, he goes with me. He's been through the washing machine a few times because he gets quite grubby, but he's still looking pretty decent. He's not lost any eyes, he's not molted much, there's no bare patches. He's preserved very well over all of those years, and you know, when I'm feeling down or I've had a bad day, it can still be nice to give Scallywag a cuddle, and he reminds me of my past, and I think he was a gift from my parents to me when I was very, very young, like a toddler. And it's nice to have something comforting like that kind of is a link back to when you were a kid. So Scallywag is that link for me. It's funny that I've gone from one Scally to another because my girlfriend's second name is Scally. We had that joke when I first told her what his name was. There you go. Okay, the fourth present and the final one is going to be a CD. Now this was a birthday present for me when I was in high school, and it's a band called Striper. I just have to tell you about Striper because you've probably never heard of them. They're a pretty niche 80s Christian evangelical hair metal band or glam rock band, and you know, back in the day I used to be a Christian, used to look for kind of Christian music, and I was obviously into metal as well, and these guys are absolutely hilarious. I'm kind of glad that I got this present because there's nothing really like Striper, and I kind of like finding unique bands. These guys are so cheesy. A lot of the guys look like girls. They're really glam with very long hair and fancy yellow and black outfits. They have this synchronized yellow and black color. I think the first album was called the Yellow and Black Attack. These guys are actually so cheesy that they managed to play Disneyland. I mean, when does heavy metal ever go to Disneyland? But their albums were really damn good. There were some amazing blistering guitar solos on these, and the vocals are fantastic. Michael Sweet, amazing vocal harmonies. It's just pure 80s hair metal thunder, and I love it. They've got an amazing song called To Hell with the Devil. And of course, like all cheesy 80s bands, there are some really, really over-the-top cheesy power ballads on there as well. So it's all great stuff. And, you know, I like those unique presents that, you know, people won't have heard of this band before. This is something just for me, really. I actually showed Striper to a few of my friends, and my mate Ali actually kind of liked them as well. You know, they're actually a very good quality band. I think that a lot of those Christian bands got overlooked because, you know, the content wasn't very cool. But, you know, they're in a similar vein to some of those really big 80s groups, you know, Eddie Van Halen, etc. Striper are still actually going, even though they were mostly big in the 80s. They're still going now. They've just put a new album out. It's a little bit heavier than it used to be, and there's some great guitar work on them. So yeah, maybe you'll check them out for a laugh. If you Google or search in YouTube for To Hell with the Devil, you're sure to have a bit of fun. Okay guys, those are my 4 most precious childhood gifts, with a bit of a slant on it that I wanted to choose things that were slightly more interesting than going on about when I got a Mega Drive for Christmas. Okay, take care guys, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.